Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. This is a video on daily topic-wise news analysis where I'll be covering the news from two important newspapers, that is the Hindu and Indian Express. So I'll try to cover the most important of news of the day, and I'll be also supplementing the news with additional information so that they can help you in prelims and mains examination. So let's get started with the topic first. Today is 5th of January. The first topic is India's commitment to reform the multilateralism. The second important topic, that is gig worker and issue of urban employment. This is an editorial reported in the Hindu. Talking about the third topic, that is manufacturing sector activity has strengthened. The second last topic is COVID-19 vaccination program that is beginning very soon. The Prime Minister himself has said that India would be very soon starting the vaccination process. And the last topic is budget session of the parliament that is scheduled to be held on 1st of February. So apart from this, I'll be also discussing some MCQs question at the end of this video so that you could practice some question that will help you in another part of the prelims examination. Without any further ado, let's get started with the news first. We'll be discussing the news in detail. So the first is India's commitment to reform multilateralism. The news has been reported in the Hindu. And talking about the relevance of this type of article, this become very significant for your general studies paper 2 in terms of IR section, right? So India will soon approach a 2-year term for the United Nations Security Council, that is known as UNSC. और बहुत ही स्ट्रॉन्ग कमिटमेंट के साथ इंडिया चाहती है कि जो मल्टीलैटरल फोरम है वहां पे रिफॉर्म लाया जाए. रिफॉर्म शुड बी देयर बिकॉज स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम 2021 इंडिया हैज गॉट अ टेन्योर of 2 years in the non-permanent seat, and this would be very pivotal for country like India to reform the multilateralism, right? एक जितने भी जिस डायमेंशन पे भी इंडिया काम कर रही है, चाहे वो हमारी रीजनल हो, शाख हो, और भी ऐसे जितने नाम हो, ये सारी चीज़ों पे नाम तो एक बेसिकली इट्स एन अलाइनमेंट, और भी जितने सारे बायलैटरल कमिटमेंट्स हैं इंडिया के और फोरम अलग अलग जो फोरम है उस फोरम को कैसे स्ट्रेंथन किया जा सकता है, उस मल्टीलैटरलिज्म को कैसे रिवैम्प किया जा सकता है. This is an opportunity for India in the UNSC so that they can come with this approach. Or I'll tell you that these are the 2 year of approach. Which I told you this was the beginning. This would be for the 2 year initially, and this is something which would be very important for India. Now, India's commitment. What is India's commitment? So India come into the Security Council as the largest democracy. We are the world's largest democracy, and the tenure for 2 years can make significant changes in the UNSC. Now, the second is country represent 1/6 of the humanity of the globe. No, entire globe, we represent 1/6 of the humanity. And India has a strong commitment to reform multilateralism and rule of law. तो ये दोनों एक बहुत ही अहम डिसीजन होंगे इंडिया के जहाँ पे रूल ऑफ लॉ और मल्टीलैटरलिज्म पे रिफॉर्म लाई जाएगी. Now it is a fair and equitable internet system of peace, security and development. So these are also the core areas among which the most of the India's commitment would be envisaged for. Now coming to the benefits of India's membership at UNSC, for talking about the United Nations Security Council, the India's presence in the UNSC will ensure that voice of India's largest democracy in the world would be heard with important organ of the United Nations, and UNSC is one of the significant body of the United Nations. Now talking about India has always been a global voice. अगर बात करें एक ग्रेटर अपॉर्चुनिटी की पार्टिसिपेशन, एक्टिवली पार्टिसिपेशन की, तो ड्यूरिंग COVID-19 एंड पोस्ट COVID-19 सिनेरियो मेनी थिंग्स हैज चेंज्ड अ लॉट. नाउ टॉकिंग अबाउट इट्स प्रेजेंट इन द UNSC, इट विल हेल्प टू ब्रिंग वर्ल्ड in ethos of Vasukam Kundukam. This is like one family. World is one family. You can use this type of basically punchline in your essay paper. This can help you the punchline as an essay paper. Now बात करें अगर ग्लोबल साउथ की, तो it has development and security aspirations that will help to articulate the aspirations of council across the different issues. As I told you, multilateral एक ऐसी प्लेटफॉर्म होती है जहाँ पे कंट्री लाइक इंडिया which has a huge diversity representing 1/6 of the global population, it has an ample opportunity that it can explore the multilateralism. Now talking about the second news, that is an editorial reported in the Hindu that talks about the gig worker and the issues of urban employment. So this type of news can be very significant for your general studies paper 3, and equally it will contribute to your general studies paper. Also, you can use some of the fodder point in the essay paper. So after the historic contraction of Indian economy, where we have felt that the economy fell like 23.9% in April-June quarter, और उसके बाद जिस तरह की रिकवरी हुई है इकोनॉमी में, इट इज बीइंग आर्ग्यूड बाय द एक्सपर्ट दैट दिस इज अ वी शेप्ड रिकवरी, राइट. सो रीसेंट डेटा फ्रॉम सेंटर फॉर मॉनिटरिंग इंडियन इकोनॉमी, उन्होंने कहा है कि जो ग्रेजुअल स्लो डाउन हुई है एम्प्लॉयमेंट में, दैट इज रिकवरिंग, बट स्टिल अ लॉट नीड टू बी डन फ्रॉम द गवर्नमेंट साइड एंड फ्रॉम द प्राइवेट पार्टिसिपेशंस. तो लेटेस्ट नंबर की अगर बात करें तो शार्प राइज है इन द नेशनल एम्प्लॉयमेंट रेट फ्रॉम 6.51% in November to 9.6 from the month of December. So you can see the progress that India is making in terms of the national unemployment, right? Now talking about the NREGA outlay. So for rural India, NREGA or employment come from the increased outlay that is called National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme. This is one of the significant scheme that government of India has continued, because the past government has already conceptualized this concept, but the present government is also carrying forward, because this is the only way where the livelihood can be provided at this time of COVID-19 pandemic. Now it has witnessed 243 increase in the person work day, because lockdown के बाद जो काफी लोग अपने घर रिटर्न हो गए, the migrated people, they are now willing to work on Manrega, and there's a surge of 243%. This is the percent I'm talking about. Now, the increased dependency on Manrega has seen in the Rural Development Ministry, nearly 19% of increased has cost 86,488 crore 64,000 allocation per month for November, right? So this amount is not important for you, but this percentage is very significant that you have to know, and you can write in the mains examination as well. Now talking about the merits used. So the reports evaluate the well-being of gig worker for 11-digit platforms and does not by evaluating the 5-member metrics, right? So क्या क्या ऐसे evaluation metrics हैं जिनको consider किया जाता है? So the first is fair play, fair conditions, fair contracts, fair management and fair representations. So these are some important things that are taken into consideration when the metrics are being calculated. Now issues of regulations, the next step is significantly more sensitive. अगर बात करें कुछ reasons की, reason for sensitivity primarily involve varied nature of the gig worker, क्योंकि जो gig worker है उनका work का जो nature है वो काफी different है, right? And the dynamic is further complicated by the risk of one size fits all regularity strategy. और अगर बात करें more viable strategy की, this would involve conditional government partnership with platform under some flagship scheme. So अगर कोई फ्लैगशिप स्कीम और भी ऐसे गवर्नमेंट लेकर के आ सकती है, ऑलरेडी गवर्नमेंट हैज अनाउंस्ड अ लॉट ऑफ वेलफेयर स्कीम ड्यूरिंग द कोविड-19, पोस्ट कोविड-19, एंड इट वुड बी अगेन वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि अगर इस तरह से कुछ और रेगुलेशन लाया जाए, सो दैट वी कैन मेक इकोनॉमी, यू कैन गिव अ बैकिंग टू ऑल दिस सेक्टर इन द इकोनॉमी, राइट. नाउ कमिंग टू द अर्बन एम्प्लॉयमेंट, यहाँ पे सिमिलर कोलैबोरेशंस हुई है. Basically it require the labor platform to comply with the disclosure norms. Work compensation की अगर बात करें, जो standard है, access to government support is very necessary. As I've told you, this can be only helped by finances. अगर कोई short term lending हो या फिर MSME sector है, the micro, small and medium enterprises, this would be something that would be revamped, and financially support is very important at this point of time. और current proposal जो है union the urban employment guarantee peg daily wages ki, that is approximately 300 rupees. That is what being the government has been always looking forward for this amount, or this will cost around 1 lakh crore rupees to the exchequer, right? पूरा जो इसका खर्च बैठेगा, जो बजट आएगी पूरी, that would be close to 1 lakh crore rupees. So this amount is again important because there has been severe fluctuation. Many committee has said that this amount should be 320 rupees per day. Now coming to the way forward, this would be an increased impetus on evaluating the regulations, support new forms of employment, and currently serving the informal safety net closely desperately in search of work. और अगर stimulus creations की बात करें for job alongside the various voluntary adaptation of standard, तो यहाँ पे म्यूचुअली बेनिफिट पार्टनरशिप जो है, खास करके ऐसे प्लेटफॉर्म पे जो क्रिएट करती है जॉब को और इंसेंटिवाइज करती है ग्रेटर लेवल ऑफ कंप्लायंस, दीज थिंग्स वुड डेफिनेटली वर्क इंडियन इकोनॉमी टू डेवलप, क्योंकि हमारी जो $5 ट्रिलियन की जो टारगेट है इकोनॉमी को, उसको बूस्ट करना था 2022 तक. बट इफ वी नीड टू चेज दिस टारगेट, we need a continuous growth of 9% of the GDP, right? And this can only sustain this growth by 2025. If we maintain the 9% of GDP growth, then we can achieve this by 2025. तो 3 से 4 साल हमें 9% तक जीडीपी ग्रोथ कंसिस्टेंट रखनी पड़ेगी. फॉर दैट वी नीड अ स्ट्रॉन्ग, comprehensive and sustainable plan by the government. Now the other topics from Indian Express: manufacturing sector activity has strengthened. So PMI has expanded for the 5 straight months in the December, and this is also good news, a sign that economy is on the V-shaped recovery. So talking about the importance, this can contribute to your general studies paper 3, and PMI or manufacturing indices and composite would be relevant for your prelims examination as well. Now, India manufacturing sector has actively strengthened in December. Manufacturing has stepped up the production and input buying. So these two have helped the manufacturing sectors. And reasonably अगर बात करें IHS Market India Manufacturers, जो कि PMI देती है, जो Purchasing Manager Index है, right? We known as, we could call it in short PMI. This was at 56.4% in December. और नवंबर में it was reading for 56.3, right? A marginal increase, but also it's a good signal. Now, the latest PMI result of Indian manufacturing sectors continue to point out in the economy. और PMI एक ऐसी इंपॉर्टेंट इंडिकेटर्स है जो कि मैन्युफैक्चरिंग के बारे में, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग की जो हेल्थ है उसके बारे में सरकार को एक जिम्मेवारी, एक बेसिकली पूरी पॉलिसी फॉर्मुलेट करने में या फिर अगर फाइनेंशियल हेल्प देने में मदद करती है. इट गिव अ मिरर टू द गवर्नमेंट अबाउट द मैन्युफैक्चरिंग sector. Now, coming to the broad-based recovery, it is important to emphasize a broad-based natures of recovery, जहाँ पे जो expansion है that can be both in the sales and output. और अगर international demand की बात करें तो Indian goods rose in December and the growth was hampered by the pandemic. As you know, entire sectors has performed well. Only the agriculture sector was a sector that was there in the plus 3.4% of the growth, right? Now, the report also rose to the slowest pace in the current 4 months sequence of expansions. अगर output growth की बात करें तो 4 month में काफ़ी लो चल रही थी, अभी परफॉर्मेंस सही हुई है from November itself. और input cost inflation की बात करें तो that has accelerated to 26 month high with panelist increasing on the chemical, plastics, textile. Output charges जो है वो भी lift हुई है in rising the cost burdens. So these are the broad-based recovery that we can see in the manufacturing sector of India. Now, coming to the other news, this is from the Hindu. COVID-19 vaccination program to begin, and the Prime Minister has himself said that very soon India would be starting a complete world's largest vaccination process in the country. So this can be very significant for your general studies paper 2, relevant for your general studies paper 3, equally important for the prelims examination. After the drugs regulator approval of the 2 vaccine from the restricted emergency use, जो कि कुछ 2 वैक्सीन्स को मिले, मैं आपको आगे बताऊंगा. तो कोविड-19 के जो वर्ल्ड्स की सबसे लार्जेस्ट वैक्सीनेशन इनकॉक्युलेटेड ड्राइव जो चलने वाली है, ये बिगिन होने वाली कंट्री में. दिस वुड बी स्टार्टिंग वेरी सून. द डेट हैज स्टिल नॉट कंफर्म, पॉसिबली बाय 10th of January. So COVID-19 vaccine program is set to begin in India. And the Prime Minister has lauded scientists, technicians, and Make in India vaccine because SII, Covaxin, these are some of the important vaccines. They are being manufactured in India. Now, talking about the approved vaccines, कौन-कौन से ऐसे vaccines हैं जिनको approval मिली है for emergency purposes, and very soon they would be administrating to the normal citizen as well. So, India Drugs Regulator has approved Oxford University COVID-19 vaccine Covishield that is being again made by the collaboration of Serum Institute of India. This is situated at Pune. Their plant is located at Pune. Now, talking about the second part, also indigenous developed Covaxin of the Bharat Biotech for emergency uses. This has been again approved by the government of India, by the DCGA. Basically, I'm talking about the authority. They have been assigned the work to approve the drugs. Or भी just जब तक vaccination process है, many a times you will find this type of news coming repeated basis. So I'll try to make possible that the most important part only get covered in the news, right? क्योंकि vaccine से related आपको सारी चीजें पता हैं, और कुछ ऐसी जो फोल्डर पॉइंट्स होगी या कुछ ऐसे पंचलाइंस होंगी न्यूज में जो आपके लिए जानना जरूरी है, वी वुड ऑल्सो इंक्लूड दैट. सो डू नॉट थिंक लाइक इन डेली न्यूज वी आर कमिंग विद द वैक्सीन. दिस इज ओनली टू इंश्योर दैट द एंटायर न्यूज पेपर हैज कवरेज thoroughly for you so that you do not have any problem in the prelims examination or either in the mains examination. Now, technology and development. तो PM has said कि जो scientific interventions होती हैं that creates और इस तरह के जो चीज़ें हैं इंडस्ट्रियल डेवलपमेंट में बहुत हद तक मदद करती है. ही टर्म दिस टेक्नोलॉजी अपग्रेडेशन एज अ वैल्यू क्रिएशन सिस्टम फॉर साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी एंड इंडस्ट्रीज. क्वालिटी की अगर बात करें तो क्वालिटी ऑफ सर्विसेज इन आर कंट्री products, the public and private sector will determine India's strength in the world. So how how strengthened India can do, it's talking about the drugs manufacturing, that would be very relevant. Or Serum Institute of India की अगर बात करें, so these are the world's largest manufacturing of the drugs. So we have a potential, we have the opportunity, and we have the options, we have the capability that we can build a large number of the COVID-19 vaccines. Now coming to the other news, that is budget session for the parliament. This news has been reported in the Hindu, and talking about its relevance, it can contribute to your general studies paper 3 and equally relevant for the prelims examination, right? So the budget session of the parliament is expected to be held under the similar COVID-19 safety measures and restriction, because of COVID-19, many of the parliament session has been cut short to ensure that the members of the parliament are safe during this pandemic. So the parliament is expected to be converted in the fourth week of the January, because the budget session that has to be scheduled is for 1st of February. So this is the fixed time that government would be coming up with the budget. So there would be no delay in the presentation of the budget. Now for the first time, the member of the parliament are likely to be seated in 3 different places. That is the Raj Sabha, Lok Sabha and the Central Hall, right? So these are the 3 possibilities that there would be segregation of the members so that they could have a proper social distancing. Now coming to the question hour, so there is no clarity whether the question hour is suspended during the monsoon session because of the COVID-19. Some restriction has been imposed with regard to the question hour. And Raj Sabha chamber can accommodate only 160 members. Lok Sabha can accommodate 132 members. These are the strength. Now, the opposition member has expressed inability to success participant debate, especially from the other chambers as well. Now, the government has cancelled the winter session citing the COVID-19 situation. But budget is again very significant and important for Indian economy and policy. Now, what is question hour? As a concept, this can be relevant for your polity question in the prelims examination, right? For the prelims examination, they can ask you. So, the first hour of the parliamentary sitting is slotted for the question hour. और 2015 में जो क्वेश्चन आवर है इसको शिफ्ट कर दिया गया था राज्यसभा को फ्रॉम 11 to 12 noon, राइट? एंड ड्यूरिंग द 1 hour मेंबर ऑफ द एमपी कैन आस्क क्वेश्चन टू द मिनिस्टर एंड कैन होल्ड अकाउंटेबल फॉर द फंक्शनिंग ऑफ द मिनिस्ट्रीज, राइट? तो जो क्वेश्चंस होती है दे आर आस्क्ड टू द प्राइवेट मेंबर हु आर नॉट द मिनिस्टर्स, राइट? क्वेश्चन उससे पूछे जाते हैं. द क्वेश्चन आर ऑल्सो आस्क्ड टू द प्राइवेट मेंबर हु आर नॉट अ मिनिस्टर्स. तो जो पॉलिटी के जो नुआंसेस है, जो कॉन्सेप्ट्स हैं, उनको आप अच्छे से समझ लें, क्योंकि कई बार यूपीएससी इस तरह से 2 स्टेटमेंट क्वेश्चन आपसे पूछ सकती है. नाउ प्रीवियस सेशन, द 2 सेशन दैट हेल्ड लास्ट ईयर, द बजट सेशन एंड द मॉनसून सेशन, also had to be cut short. Or budget session, which was scheduled to be there on the 31st sitting, has brought close to the 23 sittings because of the pandemic. And similarly, the monsoon session could be managed only in the sitting instead of the schedule 18, right? So these are the previous session details that has already took place, but very soon after the vaccination, the entire session would be coming in the normalcy. Coming to the MCQs question of the day, basically the answers that we'll be discussing. So for the first question, the correct option here is C, that PSLV lift off the first launch pad from the Satish Dhawan Space Center, Harikota, and the Polo satellite launch vehicle is a 4-stage launch vehicle alternatively, and the core along the part. The primary goal of the HICIS is to study Earth's surface visible near the infrared shortwave electromagnetic spectrum. So the detail I have taken from the Hindu, and the correct option is C. Now for the second question of the yesterday, the correct option here is again C. Wood Dispatch laid a great stress on the need of female education. The Christian missionaries were first to set up at Calcutta Female Juvenile Society in 1819. Or Bethune School, founded in J.E. Bethune, was the president of the Council of India in 1849, was the first fruit movement educated across 1840 and 1850. So the source of reference here is NCERT class 12. Now coming to the MCQs question of the day. For today, the first question is from environment. With reference to Albingo Orangutan, consider the following statement. They are found exclusive to Western Ghat. Orangutan are vegetarian and eat mostly fruits. So considering the environment question, this can be a very possible question. So just let me know the correct option A, B, C, D, whatever you feel is the correct answer. You can write that answer in the comment section down below. For the second question, with reference to Atim Sabha, consider the following statement. It campaigned against the idolatry, caste prejudice, meaningless rituals, and other social ill, and it was set up at Wardha in Maharashtra. So, what is the correct option? A, B, C, or D? Just let me know in the comment section how many of you are participating. And if you have other any concern, you can also write that in the description section down below, in the comment section as well, right? And if you're new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. And if you like this video, do not forget to give a thumbs up. If you have any other concern, do let us know. We'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Wish you all the best. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you so much.